Well, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you guys this week to Alex and Nicky from the band Nekrogoblikon. Welcome to the show. I should say good morning as well.
Hey, yeah, great to be here.
And a good evening for you, right?
Yes,
it's like 6 over there.
yeah. So,
7 plus 8.
That's 8. All right.
It's around that time. I'm not even sure anymore. I can't. But yeah, no. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been following you guys for it must be years now. I've been sent your music before. I've obviously seen your music videos that you've produced through like No One Survive and oh god, we need a gimmick, stuff like that. Those videos absolutely fantastic. And the albums Stench, the Power Core as well. We're going back now. I just want to get this out of the way so I can sort of bring you into what we're doing now. But yeah, no, I mean, I love the music first and foremost, but I love what you do, your hype goblin, if you will, John Goblikon. Yeah, big fan of his as well, to be honest. And I love that whole thing around it. I've even got his book
nice
on audio.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Look at that.
I know the profile. It's got his best side in that one.
Yeah.
You should see the other side.
Yeah, I know. But no, I mean, just throughout the years, you guys have produced some absolutely magnificent moments in well, I'd say metal generally. It's just sort of, it's so good that you take that concept that you have of like just being the goblin centric side of things and turn it into something. It doesn't feel like, I need to sort of like, we need a gimmick, but it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It feels like part of this whole thing that you've created a universe, if you will, based on this person, or goblin, I should say.
Yeah, and it's something that like kind of, I feel like it organically rolled out with, you know, our first 2 albums. I don't know if you knew this, but before like when Stench came out, John Goblikon was not yet a member of the band, if you will.
Yeah.
So because it started as just, you know, like a tongue-in-cheek, like what if there was a metal band just about goblins?
Yeah.
And that is as far, and we just started making music and like that's yeah, like it ended
as far as it goes.
That was as far as it goes when it started. So it was kind of, it wasn't this whole premeditated universe. It was a gradual manifestation that turned into this universe. And
yeah,
John Goblikon became a reality when we met a director named Brandon Dermer, who saw us live in front of like 8 people or something, and just loved it. He's like, man, I love the band.
I love it. Like 14 people there.
14, yeah. All right, yeah. You're right. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to count the other bands as well.
Yeah, all right.
And the door star and the bar star. And
but yes, but it's kind of like it keeps getting bigger. Just like it's like a series of jokes that just went too far.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. But you know, it's like it was organic, but it wasn't premeditated, which is I think part of the fun of it.
At first, everything was literally about goblins, and over the years, like lyrically and stuff, maybe the lyrics have shifted, and it's all just been channeled really into John Goblikon at this point. So it went from like an overall goblin to focusing all in on this one goblin.
Yeah. we became fascinated with just one goblin.
Just one goblin.
That's all you need. That is all you need.
Yeah.
We've thought about adding more goblins.
One day, when we're rich, we'll add like a bunch of goblins on trapezes and playing steel drums and stuff. So
maybe John will have children. You never know.
That's true.
The family band. Yeah.
Little goblins running around and stuff. For sure.
I commissioned John to do a cameo for my daughter as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
My daughter absolutely loves it. She's only 14. Well, she's 14 now. She was 12 at the time. Yeah, I got a cameo done because when he was doing that, and yeah, she's a fan of the band as well. She just loves the whole concept. she's like into you guys and K-pop. So I don't know if they
That makes a good blend right there.
But that makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I just love this whole thing that you have going at the moment. And like you say, with this, we're going to talk about your new album that you've got coming out in a couple of weeks, the Fundamental Slime and Humours, to give it its plug. And like how you've honed in on the one Goblin. You have like a track called Right Now, which is a short, obviously people don't know, it's a show that John Goblikon hosts, where he interviews various stars of screen and music. You've released that as a single as well, along with Golden Future and This Is It. So people can go listen to that now. It's on, I guess, all the streaming services and
you'll find it.
Yeah,
all the things.
And any outlet, it doesn't matter. But yeah, tell us a bit more about the album you got coming out, because this is your, would it be sixth album, seventh album?
Something like maybe fifth full length, is it?
Fifth full length, sixth release.
Power was sort of a half album, I like to think of it as, and then but it's still kind of an album. I mean, it was still distinctive.
Yeah.
It was short. So I guess this will be our fifth full length in 15 years or something. So that's crazy. And yeah, it's definitely still, keeps the core of weird metal going, but it's also probably our catchiest, maybe you could say. I think sonically it's our best. It sounds really good, and it kind of goes all over the place, but it still keeps the soul of the Goblin intact. So that's my take on it anyways.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's like we were able to become even more accessible while still maintaining our sound, like going deeper into our sound. I think we didn't compromise or apologize for any of our eccentricity or any of that. It's just further down that rabbit hole.
There's still some blasting and what have you, but there's also kind of like a rock and roll sound permeating through it. And as opposed to maybe just being the only dirty vocals or growls, now there's various shouts and grunts and yells, so I find that people who are put off by growls for some reason are less put off by like kind of vocals for whatever reason. So we threw a lot of those on there too.
That's awesome. I mean, with your music in the past, you've always managed to fuse so many different elements into the sound. Like you could have just gone sort of straight up, I guess, straight up metal, black metal, death metal, that sort of sound, which you kind of have that element in there, but you always seem to fuse in like electronic and random, like, well, there's synth moments obviously with the electronic side of things, but you sort of have this like jazz fusion type thing going on as well. Is that premeditated, or was that something that you just sort of just threw in there one day and it just kind of worked?
Sort of maybe like kind of proggy elements.
Yeah, just to give it a kind of a name of it, but it just sort of like in No One Survives, for instance, you have that dance break at the end,
right,
which is fantastic. Just like kind of
I don't remember, that was so long ago. I think we were writing the song, and Tim, who was in the band at that time, he was like, you should write a techno part for this. This would be cool, the techno part. So I'm like, okay, I write a techno part in free loops, and then we dropped it in, and it was like, yeah, man, all right, feeling this, and it was not excessively premeditated, but we thought we should try it.
And Nicky, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been writing techno longer than you've been writing metal, even, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's how I got into writing music in the first place, was like a pirated copy of Fruity Loops. And I wanted turntables, but my parents couldn't afford them. So I'm like, I'll just pirate this software. I don't use pirated stuff anymore, so don't come get me, FBI. But
it's all endorsements now.
Yeah. We all start there with pirated
plugins now. But yeah, so that's how I kind of got into writing. And then through Necro, I started learning about like writing songs and writing metal and what have you. And that was a long time ago now, I guess. That was, wow. Yeah, I guess I really got into this like 20 years ago, you could say. So that's kind of crazy to think about, because it feels like yesterday, and we'll be dead soon.
Yeah. Let's end that there. No, I'm kidding.
Like really soon. Like we have an appointment to die in like a week.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You've made the okay. Good.
Flying by.
Did you manage to ever buy turntables? Just out of
I never did. You know, I have one. I just have the one.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
But I never got into the whole DJing thing.
I'm gonna show you something.
Feel like, I'll learn that at some point, and then I just don't, because I'm like, then I have to like dig through like hours of EDM, listen to it all the time, and it's like, nah, I'll just fuck that. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Right. If you look at mine, I've got my
Oh, look at that. That's dope. Nice.
Sick.
Oh yeah. See, that's the dream right there. What do you got? There's some Technics or some
AR Technics 1210s.
Nice. There you go.
With a Native Instruments mixer, and
cool. Do you have like a hybrid Serato type of vibe going on or something?
Yeah, I use Tractor.
Oh, nice.
The Native Instruments software. I've used that for ages, but I'm a old school vinyl DJ when it comes to that. Scratch DJ as well. Nice. Yeah, I was a scratch DJ in a metal band, in fact, back in the days of new metal.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I've traveled that path for a good long while.
What kind of records would you scratch like during like for the get? Would you just buy like a drum sample record and scratch that, or how did that work?
That is something you can buy. Yeah, you can get like the break records and stuff. Some records I managed to find parts that have moments I can scratch. Like I've got like an old Edgar Winter record, for instance. Sort of old jazz blues musician, but he's got this like bit where he just does this massive scream, and I use that a lot. And yeah, you can buy.
You just like remember exactly the spot on the groove where it is.
Yeah, and I tape like little stickers on them, just to mark them up, cue them up, and everything. But you can also buy battle records as well,
right?
To kind of hybrid like breaks and just random sound. You got the sort of typical like fresh sound that every scratch record has, but then you get like random movie samples or radios, clips, voices, stuff like that, cartoons.
I think scratch is like long overdue for a comeback right about now. So
right?
Yeah,
totally. I totally agree.
I missed that late 90s era where everything had scratch in it. Yeah.
I totally get behind that. I would love to get back into it. So yeah, I've just guessed it on someone's track as well, so I'm sort of keeping out there. But
nice.
If we need a scratch part, can we come to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Definitely.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I'd absolutely love to do that. So,
we'll do a metal cover of Ted Nugent's Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah,
scratching on it.
Cat scratch. Yeah, that would be sweet.
Nice, excellent. I mean, actually, that's one thing that just reminded me. Actually, you guys toured with Limp Bizkit, didn't you?
We did.
The UK tour, wasn't it?
Yeah, in 2014.
Kerrang thing in 2014. It was crazy. Yeah.
So at that point, I was living in the States, and I totally missed it. I was like, oh my god, these two, But that just reminded me. So I was just like, oh, that's crazy. But yeah, obviously you had was it DJ Lethal on tour with him at that point?
No, but there's a funny anecdote about that.
Actually,
no.
Yeah, DJ Lethal wasn't on the tour because I don't know what had happened between him and the band. Had some disagreement. I don't know or care to know that what behind that, but I know that they were touring, and then DJ Lethal set up these after parties after every show. So he kind of followed the tour, and he'd find a venue either down the street or something to host the after party. So if you're a Limp Bizkit fan going to the show, you're like, oh, DJ Lethal's hosting it. I'm definitely going. That sounds awesome, So it was a genius way to like just still play for people and like, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's like right down the street, club night with DJ Lethal. It's like, whoa, is this connected to the tour? And it's like, not really, but
it is now.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. That's madness. So I know he wasn't in there for a little while.
Back in the band
like you say, I don't know why, but yeah, that's.
I'm glad he's back in the band.
Yeah,
I'm so good.
No, he's so good at what he does as well. He's like one of those DJs that I know he was known as one of the fastest. That's why DJ Lethal was his name.
And he's a super nice guy too. He actually, Nicky and I had a little birthday event like in like 2018 that he performed at. He did a set there. Yeah. Like at 1720. Yeah. It's like 2018, I think, or 2019. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. He's a super awesome dude. Very cool.
Like
very nice.
New metal night. Yeah. He DJ'd. I forgot about
that. Yeah.
Excellent. No, that's awesome. No, it's good to know. I've never met the man, unfortunately, but I've met like a few DJs around that sort of thing. A lot of the scratch DJs at the time, stuff like that. I've met them, and they've all been good. It seems to be a thing with DJs. I don't know. I've never met a bad one. You know, it's wrong with a bad temper or anything.
They're all gone. You know,
But let's get back to your stuff. With the album and everything. You're dropping it on April 1st. April Fool's Day. Is it definitely coming out on that day, or is that just part of a?
Yes, yeah, it's definitely coming out that day.
And even if it wasn't, we wouldn't tell you. So
yeah, that's true.
Try and catch you out, but no, it's
See, that'd be, it's coming out the same day as Meshuggah's new album, and I thought it'd be really funny if Meshuggah's the one pulling the April Fool's prank.
Right.
Yeah.
Bum everyone out. I got fine. I guess I'll just listen to Necro.
Yeah, you gotta listen to art.
Like the olden days where you get the mislabeled album, and their album turns out to be your album, and
Napster vibe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. the wrong download.
I didn't know Weird Al swears so much. Yeah.
Oh man. But I mean, what are your guys' plans with that, with the promotional side of things, like touring and stuff? Obviously you got a few dates over here. Namely, you playing Bloodstock, aren't you? Is it Bloodstock?
Bloodstock, yeah. And I imagine we'll do a few club shows surrounding that in the UK as well.
Yeah.
But in the States, we're going on tour with Guar in a couple months. So that should be fun. So we got Guar, then we're coming overseas, doing some festivals, doing some headline shows, and we've got tentative plans for fall, but nothing solidified yet. So cool. Yeah, everyone should just stay tuned for that.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I'm going to try and catch one of your shows, club shows, because I'm not going to be attending Bloodstock, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're playing around it, then yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm kind of just south of London.
Oh, okay.
Kind of in between London and the south coast.
Always enjoyable. What's that place called? The
Underground.
Underground. That place is always fun.
Oh yes, yeah. That's good.
I love
that venue. Yeah, played there many times myself, and it's
nice.
Yeah,
hit your head on all the stuff backstage, you know.
Oh yeah, the low ceilings.
Everything falling.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Backstage doesn't exist at the Underworld, really, does it? It's kind of it's a story.
Musician storage.
It's like storage for humans.
Yeah. Oh god, blimey, takes me back to that. But yeah, no, you're separated between that, and I think it used to be like a curtain in the way between you and the crowd in that backstage area.
There is that. Yeah, there's that like little side area or whatever.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I mean, if you guys end up playing there, I'll probably end up coming to that show, or if you do anything like either side of that, like
cool,
between London and this, like I say, the coast area, then I'll definitely be out to come see you guys. But I've got a couple of questions. Oh yeah, that's all right. A couple of questions left for you, if that's all right. And I'll let you guys get on with the rest of your day, because I know you got the rest of the day to go. You know, and I'm ending mine. I've got to get my dinner. So, but yeah, what I want to find out from you guys, just to sort of get a bit more of a perspective on your music and how you were sort of, you know, what you were growing up on, if you will, when it came to music. But I want to find out your 3 most pivotal albums. So not necessarily like your 3 top albums, but the ones that kind of like the album that made you want to make music, like especially like what made you want to make electronic music, for instance. But you know, if you've got like 3 albums, they can be old, they can be new, but just the one that made you want to pick up a microphone, you know, that sort of album.
I guess like for me, when it comes Weird Al was Bad Hair Day, I think, was my first album that I got like obsessed with as a kid.
Yeah.
And then on the metal side, Bodom, Children of Bodom, Hatebreeder. That's really like kind of what got me into growly metal, and I'm like, oh, you can have keyboards here. And then electronic, it's harder. I would just listen to various compilations and stuff, honestly. But I was a big Ferry Corsten fan. I like all the old Daft Punk stuff too.
Yeah. Nice. No, I mean those are three solid. It's like obviously like electronic side. I love like early kind of the Prodigy.
Oh yeah, I was really into like big beat stuff for a while back then, like Fatboy Slim and whatnot too.
Yeah, and that sort of like early jungle drum and bass sound is very much big on my side of things. And
I was just having like a little UK garage phase recently. It didn't really make its way over to America. Like I listened to the Streets first album a lot, but that was kind of my exposure to it. So I was just bumping to YouTube next to that stuff the other day, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. So yeah,
nice. That's good that kind of it can make its way over there, because I say when I lived over there, I lived in Florida, so it's kind of there is Miami, which is the equivalent of say the Ibiza kind of DJ sound that we have in Europe, and like
scene or whatever.
Yeah, and the club sound and stuff like that. But like I did notice that it takes a while for other electronic styles to really make an impact. I mean, dubstep did for the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it kind of got jumped on and then disappeared.
It's so weird. Yeah, there's like people who are like, I only listen to dubstep still. You know, it creates these tribes. It's kind of interesting.
It does.
Yeah. What's interesting though is like, I thought dubstep like went away, but then you'll see like all the kind of, at least like the forefathers of dubstep, there's like the shows they play are still like absolutely packed and huge.
Yeah.
So it still exists, and like it's still fun, those shows, but like it doesn't seem like everyone's trying to do it anymore. That's what I realized.
Everyone's like, wait, it's way easier to make deep house. So
that is exactly it. But what about you, Alex? What about your three?
It's in terms of pivotal, I guess I'll have to go with, so first band CD I ever got, because like before that I only listened to like soundtrack music. I was like into video game soundtrack stuff, and I had like the Star Wars soundtrack and stuff. First like band I ever bought a CD from was Offspring's Americana.
Cool.
So that's first one. Then the first Korn album is like what got me into like very aggressive heavy stuff, and I was like all about that new metal phase. And then, but then my third one, which is pivotal, and same reason as Nicky kind of got me in the direction towards being in a band like Nekrogoblikon, was also Hatebreeder by Children of Bodom. That was like, oh, I need to, arpeggios. That's awesome. I want to learn those, you know, like, so yeah.
Excellent. I mean, Children of Bodom, absolutely phenomenal band. But yeah, that Hatebreeder album, absolutely fantastic. I mean, every selection you made today from those pivotal points, I can totally vouch for them being in a fantastic albums as well. And it's sort of the reason I asked this question is like just so I can go back and listen to some of these things and you know, just sort of see where you guys have come from. But all those albums I have heard of, and I have heard on multiple occasions, and they're all fantastic. So yes, awesome. But my final,
obviously so much more too that, you know, get to.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. I know. That's why I try and narrow it to 3, just so we can kind of talk for hours. Otherwise,
we could go all day.
Oh yeah, totally. Absolutely. But my final question for you guys: what are your hobbies away from music? So when you're not doing things with Nekrogoblikon or any other kind of like musical project you might have, what are your sort of like what do you sort of get away from it if you need to, or just something that separates when you need to take 5 minutes out of the music? What do you guys do?
I like to play with this thing called a kendama. It's like a little toy that you throw a ball and you catch it.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Okay, yeah. The hand movement was kind of like, what? But
like, let me show you.
Yeah.
You know, you catch the ball on the thing.
Okay.
Ah!
So it's the like cup and ball thing.
It's like a cup and ball, but it's more advanced. That's a good way for me. It's kind of meditative.
Okay, cool.
And I also really like barbecuing, grilling.
Nice.
And
he's a damn good griller.
Yeah, I've been grilling a lot in the pandemic. You know. and then working on music that's not really for release or anything, just kind of for fun. That's like a hobby blend.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty much it. Drinking, I don't know.
But grilling's a great thing. I mean, that's something I picked up in Florida was the sort of art of that, like, because the British barbecue is kind of like burnt burgers, burnt but undercooked sausages.
Right.
That's the kind of like reputation it has, and living there, I just learned so much about grilling.
It goes deep.
It does. Surprisingly, I work with a lot of people, like the colleagues that I work with at the company I worked for at the time, but it was just because there were so many different walks of life, and I learned so much, like smoking meats and stuff as well, and sort of like, and then I suddenly got into a rabbit hole of like barbecue shows.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like on Netflix and whatnot.
Yeah, and just sort of getting into that. But that is definitely an art form. So
it's a good way to eat.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Definitely. And Alex, what about your hobbies?
Outside of music, I'm pretty into fitness. Try to be active every day. Other than that, I feel like I do so many things with music, like all my side careers and stuff involve the music industry. So I'm more on the business side. So Necro is kind of where I get to actually just like have fun and play guitar, and like, but so music pretty much is engulfing in my life. But I'd say fitness is something out of it that gets me away. Drinking, like Nicky said. The fitness is there to offset the drinking.
Okay, I see.
Been not to the same degree as Nicky, but been getting more into grilling and cooking and stuff, slowly, so that's
excellent.
I'll like in like 10 years from now, I'll be as good as Nicky is.
It's like a lifelong pursuit,
Yeah, totally.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Good luck with the album. And again, for everyone, it's the Fundamental Slimes and Humours, and it is out on April 1st. So it'll be on all the streaming side of things. You're gonna have physical product as well, I would thought.
I think we have some CDs. I think the vinyls may have sold out already, but we'll have more, right? So.
Yeah, we put out more vinyls, so we're still still got some, and it looks like they're coming sooner than we thought. We thought they were going to be arriving in like September.
Really?
And it looks like they're coming like in like May or June.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's good.
So, yeah.
I was going to ask, because a lot of bands are having issues getting vinyl on time, if you will.
Oh yeah, it's so backed up.
And we asked for it months and months ago. So it's not like we were just shot or something. We sent everything out for the vinyls to get made in November. We were told this may or may not take up to a year. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, like you say, you sold out of a first run, I would have thought, like you said, but it's definitely something that a lot of bands have having issues with. So, but no, guys, thank you very much. Again, I'll look out for everything that you guys are doing. Thank you.
All right. Well, Barnaby,
thanks for having us.
You too, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you when we hit the UK.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely guaranteed I will be there. So
awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Looking forward to it.